How you doing? Welcome back, guys. My name's Herb. Welcome back to my YouTube channel, Burnt Hill Machine. We have another project. I want to make a very simple project. It's a Vise stop. I've never really used one of these in the past. Any time I ever needed to position something in a vise, I usually use a table-mounted positioner. But I can see where they come in handy from time to time. There was a project I was doing not too long ago that it would have been really easy to set this up to help move pots in and out. But I don't do a lot of production work. But I do sometimes use the same setup to do multiple different functions, and I have to clean the vise out or flip a pot in there, and you'd like to put it back into the same position. So I can see where it would come in handy. So I'm going to make one of those today. Very, very simple project, but it'll be fun to do it. Play on the mill. I'll bring you over another view so you can see the print. Very simple print, and I'll explain what I'm going to do. Alright, so here's the drawing. And so it's going to be pretty basic. So we're looking at a 1 1/4 wide, 670 thousandths high, and about 1 7/8 long. And the reason I chose this size is I have a piece of scrap 4140 that used to be a 1 1/4, 1 1/4 square. Not sure what it was before this, but it'll the pot that we're going to make it's inside here, and we got plenty of room to work with. So this side is roll finish from the factory, this side, and this side. So I'm not going to touch those sides at all. I'm going to come in here and I'm going to touch the length. This side over here, this side, has actually been milled, side milled, and this has been cut off in a bandsaw. So I'm going to start by coming in over here and squaring this end off, and I'll probably touch that end again, and then I'm going to mill this to the thickness that I want, or the height that I want. We're going to have a 420 thousandths cut out deep, 625 wide. This is a little bit taller than the jaw when the bottom right here is sitting flat on the back side of the jaw. I'm going to have about 125 thousandths stick out, a protrusion from the face of the jaw, and it shouldn't be too high. We only want a small little area for this to actually locate on. So this should work out pretty good. I'm going to mill it back about 170 so it doesn't fit, it doesn't protrude too far down in. Trying to figure out where the best possible sizes are here and there is tough, because it really depends on what you're going to use it for. So I'm trying to come up with something roughly that would fit around a lot of things that I might do. It's going to have two 1032 set screws inside here, which are going to lock it against the jaw. So we'll thread them down in the bottom here. We'll fit them for about a 3/4 long 1032 set screw, and we'll relieve the tops. We'll clearance them out. Okay, so enough talk. Let's go make some chips on the mill. Should be a pretty simple, fast project. Okay. All right, so I'm set up in the mill. I got it set up in a V block on those factory finish sides, and I'm just going to skim the side that was side milled at a previous time. I got a little bar, piece of round stock back in here to push against this and make sure it sits square in that V block. Alright, that came up nice and clean. It was pretty square to begin with. I'm going to flip it and I'm going to mill it to length. Alright, I'll take that out and deburr it. We'll go to the next step. Alright, so I found a combination of parallels to use so that the distance from the parallel to the top of the vise is about 155 thousandths. My smallest dimension on this pot is 250, so I'm well over the height, so I can do everything else in this position. So I'm going to mill it flat, bring it down to specifications, and then I'm going to come over and I'm going to put my slot in here, my 625 5/8 slot that will fit down over the vise jaw. I'm going to take a quick measurement on that. $786. So I got to take 116 thousandths off. So I'm going to zero this and go from there. $668.9. So we're good. Alright, so now we're going to set it up. We're going to find the center. Well, actually, we're going to find the edge, come over, and mill a slot in here, 625. Then I'm going to come back and I'm going to mill the little lip that's left down, and I don't want to do that until after I do the slot because I want equal pressure on the cutter all the way down. But as I was fishing through some of my stuff, a blast from the past. This is an old key chain. My old keys from Cleveland Twist Drill. For all the cabinets and stuff when I worked for Cleveland Twist Drill. That's a blast from way back. God, that's over 30 years ago now. Alright, we're going to use the edge finder to come over and find the edge. It's all deburred. The edge finder is 200, so once we get it to line up on the edge, we got to come over half of the edge finder, which is 100. We have to come over 125, which is going to be the protrusion that's going to stick out, and we have to come out the radius of 625 of the slot, which is 312, so total 536 7 thousandths. We're going to come over and we're going to make a slot. Zero my X. Go over one more time. Check 0. Oops. And I'm right on the money within a tenth. Pick this up. And we're going to come over 537. All right, I'm going to come down touch. I'm going to enter 420 or negative 420 into the DRO, and then I will that will be my 0, and I'll come down and I'll mill that out until I get to 0. All right, I'm going to take it out of the vise and deburr it and set it up for the next process. All right, so the next thing we have to do is we have to put the holes and tap for the screws to hold it on. Looks pretty good on the vise. It stays flat on the back, and when the screws come in, it'll pull it up snug. I chose to go with 2 screws in case I wanted to let it overhang. It would still be able to lock it up. Okay. All right, so let's set it up. I have a spiral fluted tap here. I'm going to try and power tap it. If it doesn't, we'll go by hand the rest of the way. All right, let's find the center. I always say find the center. Let's find the edge. I'm always thinking the center of the hole. Alright, so that's the center of the thickness. And we're going to come down about 650,000. So let me get a 650,000 gauge block and I'll set my quill depth. Alright, so we got 650. We put our movable quill stop in here. I'm going to put these in here, come down and touch it. So we take all the clearance out, and I'm going to bring my knee up to where I want it to almost touch that block. And we look good. So we'll back this up, take these out, and we'll put our clearance hole in. Alright, now we're going to set up the tap on hole. Alright, so we're all set up with our tap. I got this down to 70 RPMs in back gears, and I'm going to have to watch in this hole because I don't want to hit the other side. Let's see how this works. This is what this tap is made to do, but it might slip in this chuck. Look good. Let's do the other one. Well, that looks like it about does it. Came out really nice. The only thing that I did alter on the print is I moved these holes to the center, where before on the print I've got them located at 250 off the bottom. And the reason I did that is if I have to cut this down anymore, let's say it doesn't do what I want it to do, although it works great with a collet block and everything, I was afraid that the screw holes were going to be too far below the lip and it would cause it to rock. So I put them up as close as I could so they fully engage this. And there's only like 10 thousandths clearance from the top of the jaw to this right here. So I thought that was a good move because I had them down towards where the bottom of the screw hole comes to about the bottom of here. So that was the only thing I changed on the fly. And if I wanted to make it thinner here, it doesn't affect the hole. So, but it looks good. The only thing we have to do is burr this hole here. I am going to, I looked online, I could not find any brass dog point screws. So I'm going to make some at some point in time. I'll put a little insert in here. I just don't want them to dig into the jaw. Even though the jaw is hard, it could still dig into the jaw because they're both, the screws have quite a bit of hardness to them. But that's a wrap. Looks like everything came out good. Simple little project. It was kind of fun to make. We'll see how useful it comes in, and maybe you'll see that in some of the videos coming up. All right, guys, thanks for watching. Thanks for subscribing, and thanks for liking it. Feel free to make comments down below. Your feedback is always welcome. Most of the people that have been making comments have been actually sending me emails. But comments are fine. That's great. Please do. Always look forward to some input. All right. Just remember, there's more than one way to do anything in the machine shop. It just depends on what's applicable or easiest for your particular tooling and machinery at that time. Okay. All right. Can't wait to see you guys again. Thank you. See you next time.